Welcome to Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. Romans and I are both money guys, but we're also gamers, so we wanted to put this pod together to help gamers like us with some of their tough money topics that can sometimes feel as hard as a Souls boss.
We're talking budgeting, saving, paying off debt, and how to not fall for all the traps life throws at you.
Grab a health potion and let's start stacking gold IRL. This is DLC, a finance podcast for gamers. Welcome to Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity, a finance podcast for gamers. I'm Scruffy, this is Romans, and today we are going to be talking about how gamers are being ripped off, the epidemic of $70 games, and where do we go from here? So really excited to get into that, but before we do, this is a bit of a special edition episode. Romans has some super exciting information about something that just happened today about Reach. So I haven't even heard it. Romans, what do you got?
I love it that you have no idea. So the first one is I'm going to start. There's 3 announcements today. The first one is we finalized the bags for the Reach conference, which is like, it's kind of nice. It's not that exciting, but it's kind of nice. And the bags will feature every single Reach partner on the bag. All Reach partners will be on the bag. So that's the kind of thing. And through the magic of editing, I will trust our editor, AJ the King Valdez, to throw it up there. Somewhere. The second the second announcement, and this one I'm curious. I think you'll love this. I have a feeling you'll love this one. On day 3, I confirmed it today. We're doing a 30-piece orchestra that will play they will play for an hour. They're the Miami Pixel Symphony. Not 1 Emmys, 2 Emmys. The people performing have won 2 Emmys. And it was a cold conversation that we just reached out and he saw it and he's like, hey, do you know who we are? I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. Let me tell you. And we talked and, it sounds like it could be a thing. So we met for 3 hours today to logistically make sure we could fit 30 instruments, a full orchestra in our church. And we're going to go for it. We're going to make it happen. So
wow.
And that's not it. I got one more for you. So, and so just so you know, that orchestra will span, obviously got to do the Mario stuff. It's going to do Helldivers because I love Helldivers. That's my jam.
Of course.
It's going to do some MMO, the World of War trash game, that has billions of players.
Roman's favorite.
Yeah. And we're going to do solo leveling. So it's going to have...
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. And so, Zelda, and a couple pieces in there. Let's keep some of the mystery alive, right? And it's for a full hour, and it's going to wow and amaze folks. Last announcement, on the programming, day 2, we have the 50 versus 50 sword battle, where I wanted 100 people to compete. The event has been upgraded. Now it's a 20-on-20 lightsaber fight choreography battle. I have a Hollywood fight choreographer, James Sang Lee. He's done a bunch of Hollywood movies. He's known for fight choreography. He's going to lead us on a journey of how to do it right. And he's going to bring all lightsabers. So if you have a lightsaber, bring it.
Can I get in if I bring my lightsaber?
Well, he's going to bring the lightsaber, so you can just use his. Because you don't want to break yours, I imagine. Unless yours is meant for it.
Oh, mine's combat rated.
Yeah. Yours. Of course Scruffy's a combat rated. Oh, that's right. I forgot who I'm talking about. I'm talking to Chewbacca over here. Like, of course it's fine. Of course. I think I misunderstood my audience. Yeah. Of course. So it's going to be a 20-on-20 guided, full, real fight choreography by James Sang Lee. So that'll be on day 2 in the late afternoon. So that's our 3.
I know which day I'm wearing my Jedi cosplay to now.
Yeah, this year's anime and cosplay, but I gotta tell you, day 2 you might want to make it the Star Wars people, and if you're an edgelord, Star Trek, but red shirts. If you're wearing a red shirt, we kind of know what's gonna happen to you. But there you go. So there you go.
But they're expendable.
All right, so let's dig into this because this is supposed to be our fast episode. So take it away.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, before you go, reachconf.org, reachconf.org to get your tickets. November 6th through 8 here in Orlando, Florida. Caitlin Glass, Chris from TikTok, Brian from Chick Fil A, and Catherine Lidstone from Chosen are all set to speak. And all these content creators and all their communities, we have 100 reach partners, 100, I think 130 to 150 official. And so we'll hope to see you November 6th, 7, and 8. Get your tickets, reachconf.org. Boom, boom, boom. See you soon. All right, back to the programming. Games were getting ripped off. Scruffy, why? How? What's happening?
So, first thing I wanted to talk about is back in my day in 2005, the golden age of gaming, games were only 50 bucks. And now we're getting to pretty much every new AAA game that's coming out now, 70 bucks. If you're Nintendo, sometimes even more than that. And that's not even including all the DLCs. Even paid games now are having, the freemium or, the battle passes that you're having to add on to it or the subscriptions or everything. So gamers are just getting priced up and up and up and up. So wanted to talk a little bit about that, but also like, are games actually getting more expensive? How is the game pricing been keeping up with inflation? What does that actually look like for us today? So yeah, gonna get into a couple of different things. Main thing is I think, well, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I think gaming costs are rising, but I think gaming prices are rising faster than that. And I think a big part of that has to do with some of these greedy corporations that see the opportunity that is the gaming market. And instead of caring about really creating great stories, great games, are just seeing it as, oh, this is a way we can make a bunch of money.
So I think I'm going to take a contrarian view. Obviously, that's a natural perspective to blame the corporations. I blame the gamers. We have
Hmm.
too many dumb gamers who have put up with being whales. They play these gotcha games and they spend $50,000 a month, on these games. You guys,
Mm-hmm.
you whales out there are ruining it for us normal people. And all these gamers who buy the DLCs and all the skins equal wins. Marvel Rivals, it made I think 130 million in its first 30 days, a free game. Marvel Rivals is
Yeah.
free. It made 130 million dollars for a free game. I blame the gamers. What are you guys doing? Why are you throwing hundreds of dollars at these games? And so, I obviously corporations are catching on. They're learning. They're learning because we're too nice. And you started where you said games are 50, and I still remember when games were $15, not even 50.
Yeah.
Nintendo's Tetris. I remember going to the local game store. Sure, they were used, but I remember paying $5 for used, new 15. Your favorite games at 10, like if it was a PlayStation hit, $10.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the way, it became $20. I don't even know what it is these days because I stopped doing that myself. But I'm with you. I vote with my dollars in every which way I can, and I guess what I'm hearing today is I'll never buy a new game, or maybe just one, maybe two.
Yeah. I think this is definitely something we're going to get into a little bit later is what are some of the things you can do as a consumer in this type of environment. But before we get there, I do want to talk a little bit, we're both money guys, so it's fun to actually look at some of the numbers behind this. So if you look at like Nintendo and Super Nintendo, like those games mostly were $40, $50. Then you get to PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, $50 to $70 are kind of like the standard area. And then today you have $70, some games even pushing the $80 range. But what's interesting is if you actually look at the numbers, the increase in game prices has actually underpaced inflation. Though inflation has actually grown faster than game prices have increased. So now there's the question, is it justified? But it is an interesting point to make that like the costs of just living in general has actually gone up more than game prices have over that kind of time span.
I, I think the counterpoint to that is the number of gamers has exponentially increased. So as supply and demand, and now that we're more digital, we don't really need to spend money to make the cartridge. We just buy it
And you
digitally.
don't even own it these days.
Yeah, we just get a license to play. Like we're not. Yeah, to your point, like the whole DRM, which is a topic for another day. I like GOG. Shout out to GOG out there. I hope we're sponsored someday. I love what GOG does. They make sure you still buy
Hmm.
games. Whatever you buy, you actually own it, and I think that's GOG is needed. Steam does a great job, but they have a full monopoly over all of this stuff, and
Yeah,
they've been kind overlords to us. But
in some ways.
but yeah, I think it's coming to roost. And hey, on the flip side, it's a great time for indie. We've had our other episodes talk about how great indie development is. I don't think we have to play ransom to these guys. These AAA guys, after GTA 6 drops, I don't think, is it 6 or 5? It's 6.
It's six,
Yeah,
yeah.
after GTA 6 finally drops next year or whenever it drops, I hope people stop being dumb. I just think there's so much hype over GTA 6, people are going to go
Yeah.
crazy over it, and you can't stop the flood. But after that game, I hope people come to their senses, or you can game without me. That's the power of being
Mhm.
old, is I can say no. I'm not gonna buy GT6. I know everybody else is, but I'm not. I have zero plans on, like, don't be a hypocrite. You hate game prices. Why are you paying $120 to play a game? It's kind of like,
Yeah.
we're mad, but then I saw you do it. Uh,
Yeah, and it's interesting. I know a couple episodes we were talking about Hollow Knight and Silk Song and the new release, and we were, talking about the price because it hadn't been announced. And I think both of us were probably thinking, oh, it's probably going to be 40, $50. Yes, that's what everything is. No, it came out at $20. And you're looking at like a $20 game with 50 plus hours of quality gameplay. And which kind of goes back to your point, like we are really seeing these games, like specifically from indie developers, really start to take off. And I think we've seen it starting to eat into the market share. And I think the rise of AA games is also going to continue to uh, rise. You've seen the success with Helldivers 2, game I love, Space Marine 2, fantastic game, still in that kind of AA category, still relatively well priced, 35 $40, and really good quality games. So I hope we kind of see some of these indie studios that really care about games got move more into, maybe not necessarily an indie studio, but more of a AA studio that can make some of the quality that we expect from a good studio game, but with the same passion for making a good game that will actually resonate with the audience.
yeah, and technology is helping us do things, right? We had an episode on AI. Like, as much as we don't like how AI is being trained, it does what it does really well. Give AI 2 more years, maybe even just 1 more year. I don't even know. Like, it could check back in a year, and AI could be really crazy. So uh, we'll see what those guys are working on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the other thing to consider too, and this kind of goes back to where we were talking about the corporations, like all of the costs of bringing a game to market for a lot of these corporations have gotten really big. I mean, like if you're watching a Twitch stream, you get all these ads that are mostly game ads that are being rolled for different games that are being launched, whether it be the big new game or if it's a game you've never heard of that was made millions of dollars, got put into the game and essentially do nothing. I think that corporations are using expenses like that aren't necessarily like you don't see it as the consumer in the actual product, but it's just jacking up their marketing costs, their distribution costs, even though it doesn't actually go into making a good game. And then on the flip side, you have indie games that have literally no marketing, uh, like Blueprints that came out this year, very little marketing to like little to none, and it's a fantastic game. People are talking about it for Game of the Year,
Hmm.
so
Well,
it's interesting.
we know one friend who has 150, 200 hours on that game.
Yep.
I don't even know how Jay
Uh,
did that. I'm like, you have 100. When he said he had 150 hours, I'm like, what are you playing? Are you sure you're playing the game right?
I guess Jade's just not that great at puzzles.
And you know it's funny. I stand by the converse. It's an anecdotal comment that you should pay $1 per minute. I mean $1 per hour of gameplay. In theory, Jake should
Hmm.
pay $150 for blueprints.
Yeah.
Blueprints. It's it's hard to say it the right way because you don't want to say
Yeah.
blueprints, but it's
Yeah.
blueprints. Anyways, yeah, I've seen it. It's a great game. Not my kind of game, but very good game. Um,
Yeah, same. I'm not really into the puzzle games, but I've seen people who have played it really, really enjoyed it. It looks like a well-made game, but
yeah,
yeah, it's interesting. And I think what really is kind of the nail in the coffin for me of like vote with your dollars is you'll get these 60, $70 games like Call of Duty Black Ops, whatever we're on now, 6, 7, 8, Infinity, whatever. And you're going to buy the game for $70. And then the first thing screen you see when you launch the game, Battle Pass Season 1, get these new skins. And I'm like, I just spent $70 for this game. And the first thing you're getting me to do is spend more money on a battle pass? Heck no.
yeah. The microtransaction death spiral is really out of control, and we won't talk about other game developers for the sake of time, and maybe we'll see if they correct their behavior. There's a warning to you. You know who you are. They are taking standard content and putting it behind a paywall just to see if they get an
Yeah.
extra $5, $10. Like that skin, it's an event. It's an event skin. It's always been free. What did they do this time? They locked it behind a paywall. So it used to always be free for a game that's been around over 10 years. Not many games that have done that. Anyways, moving on. So, agreed. Base games and
Yeah.
then hit me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the thing we need to do as gamers is it's really important vote with your dollars. Like this is something I tell my IRL clients when I'm advising them with their finances. There's only so much you can do if you're just continuing to spend your money the exact same way. So be smart about how you're spending your money. Don't just the instant a new game comes out, hop on that trend. If you're doing your budget, you should know better. But there are constantly sales. We talked about GOG a little bit. They're constantly giving away games when you're on Twitch. Every time I log into Twitch and hop in someone's chat, I get an alert about, oh, this new game is free on GOG. You should go and get it. Recently I was watching Twitch yesterday, and one of my all-time favorite games, Civilization 3, was on there for free. Yes, it's a very old game, but it is an amazing game. Super, super well. It stood the test of time. Any Civilization fans know out there, Civ 3 is the best game. Fantastic. But there are countless sales. Every single holiday event, there's some sort of sale, whether it's Labor Day, Summer Game sales, and then there's even the thematic sales where different games will go on sale for specific publishers, stuff like that. I know recently Space Marine 2 went on sale because there was a publisher sale on Steam, and I was able to buy it for a friend so that we can play sometime. Stuff like that. And then there's also some with the rise of some of these subscription services like Xbox Game Pass, you're able to, you know, say what you will about a subscription. You don't own the game, but are able to play a lot of these new releases day one. Player Obscure, day one available on Game Pass. Silk Song, day one available on Game Pass. That's doesn't matter as much because it's an indie game, so you're not spending as much money, but a lot of these big releases will go on Game Pass. If for some reason you want to play Black Ops Infinity, it's going to be available day one on Game Pass. So instead of spending $70 to buy your $10 Game Pass, you can spend whatever Xbox. It's like $10 for PC Game Pass, $11, something like that. And yeah, and then the last thing is just wait. Like if you are playing a game, don't buy the next game when it comes out. I'm playing Metaphor ReFantazio right now, and I'm not buying a game until I finish that game. Uh, I've finally reached the end of my RPG queue, and in fact, I'm probably not going to buy another game because I want to go back and play Fire Emblem Three Houses before the new Fire Emblem comes out. So I'm probably not going to be buying another RPG for a while, maybe until I finish Three Houses and after the new Fire Emblem comes out. So, you know,
I
take your
cannot
time.
I can't wait for each conference to be over because I want to finish Monster Hunter Wild. I have 7 hours of Monster Hunter Wild, and that game came out how long ago? So I'm with you.
February?
Right? Isn't that crazy? That's 7 months.
Yeah.
That's how hard I've been working on Reach, guys. I'm almost there. 2 more months. And I'm gonna play a game I bought in February. Uh, anyways, adult gamer. I wanted to throw something at you. Marvel Rivals, real quick. Angela is amazing. I'm not sure if you're playing any Rivals, but
I went on a trip right after she went out, so I played like a couple games of quick play, um, and immediately got thrown off the map in Shin Shibuya by Angela and was very mad.
oh my goodness, I've thrown other Angelas off the map. she can fly.
Nice.
Oh, I'm having a great time in Rivals. Quick couple games
And
with my son. It's great.
I heard a rumor that Daredevil is probably going to be a tank too, not DPS, which would be huge to have another tank.
It's the least played. I get to be a tank every game. I'm a tank main,
Yeah.
so it's good for me. The strategists and
Yeah.
the DPS guys are all sad boys and girls, but I'm having a great time in Tankland. And Thor
Yeah.
got buffed. I played Thor for the first time today. Broken.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Absolutely
I play
broken.
with two of the guys I play with, both of them love Thor and are like stupid good with him. So, and I primarily play Luna, so I'll just throw my snowflake on Thor and just immortal for the entire game.
Oh, I am as a Thor main. It's a good time, but I love Angela too much. I know I'm good at Thor. We're good, but he's super broken. Anyways, and that game's free. Everyone, Marvel Rivals, and it's making around 100 to 150 million per month. Free game. All because thirsty boys mostly want to buy the hot skins of very attractive characters. So
It's true.
it is what it is. It's not a Christian game, so what do you expect? And just so you know, they've made $0 from me. And
That's impressive.
my son threw it at me. Says, Dad, can I? I'm like, actually, you can if you wanted to, but I would tell you not to show restraint. That they're offering you this game for free, and the trick is there'll always be a better skin. And is that a
Mm,
character you actually use? Because if you don't use it, what are you doing with the skin? Trying to show him, try. I wanted to, right?
yeah.
I'm not blind. It's a cool skin, but no. If you wanted my money, you should have told me. You should have told me on
Mm,
day zero it's gonna cost you $5 a month. So if it's free, then it's free. But hey, I'm talking about
yeah.
it. So other people get hooked and they'll spend their money. But be reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be considerate. Like, goes back to your budget. Check your budget. If you have the money in your gaming category, and if you're listening to this episode, you should have a budget and you should have a gaming category in your budget. If you're not, that's your challenge from today. If you don't have a budget, start a budget. If you have a budget and play games, add a gaming category to your budget and don't overspend that category. The money you put in there is the money you can spend on gaming. And you can let it accumulate if you don't want to buy a game this month and are saving up for a game down the road. Let it build up, but don't overspend your budget. Vote with your dollars. This is how we're going to see the gaming industry change for the better.
And I will tell you, if everything he just said sounded like the Peanuts family, womp, 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 you can meet Scruffy in person in Orlando, November 6, 7, 8, and he'll help you with your budget in front of you.
It's
So
true.
he's willing to help you. He's such a nice guy. He does this for a living. I do not do it for a living. So if you want real advice that's relevant and fresh, Scruffy. If you want old information, I'm your guy. And so thank you guys for listening to today's episode. It's a very fast and short one. We just basically wanted to just sound the alarm. Games are out of control on their pricing. That we do not need to spend $150 on every game that comes out just because they tell us. Or $70 with a battle pass of $30 that only battle pass only lasts 30 days or 90 days. Like, let's honor the people who make great games like Helldivers 2.
Mhm.
They make a battle pass every 45-ish, 60 days. You know what's crazy about their battle pass? You don't have to spend real money to earn those battle pass. Just play the game.
Just gotta grind those super credits.
That is an amazing thank you. Quick shout out to the Helldivers 2. I hope they make millions of dollars. But thank you for creating an avenue where I gave you the money up front. Why do you keep hitting me every chance you get for another nickel? Like, or just tell me outright. You've played our game long enough, and just tell me, we want $50 from you again this year. Just be transparent. Don't be like, here's a Halo thing, and it's gonna cost you $15 for the gun. For one gun, $5 for the other gun, $6 for the shoes. Like, guys, you guys are worse than like the fancy store at the mall. I don't even get to wear this stuff outside anywhere.
I don't know
Anyways,
if you can get a gun for $15. I don't know what kind of mall you're going to, but
yeah, Nerf. We're not looking for fun. Freedom. Democracy. We don't actually need to live the Helldiver's life in reality. It's just a game.
thankfully.
For now, America.
Super Earth.
Yeah, and just because this episode's so fresh, we can talk about this. If we don't see you tomorrow, then they're right. But I'll tell you, they weren't right. I'm gonna call it right now. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about tomorrow?
I did. Oh my gosh.
We're recording this
And if
episode.
not,
Yeah.
I'll
Oh
see
wait.
you in heaven.
Oh wait. It's 9:23. Oh no,
Oh,
we
we're
left?
still
Oh,
here.
we're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here. We're still here. This episode is so fresh.
We've
guys.
been here for 14 minutes. We're alive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, thanks guys for listening to our super fast podcast. Don't spend $100 at the end of the TLDR. We'll see you at Reach Conference, live orchestra, cool graphics bag, and then Hollywood choreography in lightsaber, or I forgot. We're gonna use another word other than lightsaber because you can't use that word. I guess I'm not sure.
Sword.
Yeah, there's some kind of we were the laser sword battles.
All right. Well, this has been Dollars, Lifestyle, and Charity. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to drop a comment, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Peace.